Imagine looking up into the sky and seeing not just one drone, but hundreds of them. Small, fast, and coordinated. They move like a flock of birds or a swarm of insects, changing direction instantly, sharing information, adapting in real time. But here's the shocking part. These machines might not even need a human pilot. Welcome back to the Best Tech Zone, where we explore the technology shaping our future. And today we're counting down the top 10 facts and technologies behind drone swarms and why they could completely change modern warfare. From artificial intelligence coordination to counter-swarm defenses designed to stop them, some of these technologies sound like something straight out of science fiction, but they are now being engineered. And make sure you stay until the end, because number one might be the most disruptive military technology of the next decade. If you enjoy exploring cutting-edge technology, hit like, subscribe to the Best Tech Zone, and let's jump in. Number 10, what exactly is a drone swarm? Let's start with the basics. A drone swarm isn't just a bunch of drones flying in the same direction. It's a network of drones working together as a coordinated system. Instead of each drone being controlled individually by a pilot, swarm drones communicate with each other and respond to shared information. Think of it like a hive mind. Each drone collects data about position, obstacles, or targets and shares it with the rest of the group. That means decisions can be made collectively almost instantly. And the bigger the swarm gets, the more powerful that system becomes. But here's where it gets interesting. If drone swarms behave like living organisms, the question becomes, how do hundreds of machines avoid crashing into each other? The answer lies in the technology coming up next. Number 9, swarm algorithms inspired by nature. Drone swarm technology actually comes from studying nature. Scientists observed how birds fly in flocks, how fish move in schools, and how insects form massive swarms. None of these animals are being controlled by a leader. Instead, each individual follows a few simple rules. Things like maintain distance, match direction with nearby neighbors, and avoid collisions. When hundreds or thousands of animals follow these rules simultaneously, complex group behavior emerges. Engineers copied this concept and turned it into swarm algorithms. These algorithms allow drones to automatically coordinate movement and maintain formation. This is how swarms can change direction instantly, spread out to search an area, or regroup when needed. But coordinating movement is only part of the challenge. Because if drones are going to operate as a team, they also need to communicate constantly. And that leads us to number 8. How drone swarms communicate. For a swarm to work, drones need to exchange data every second. Most swarm systems use something called a mesh network. In a mesh network, each drone acts as a communication node. Instead of sending all information to one central controller, drones pass information to each other across the network. This makes the swarm incredibly resilient. If one drone loses connection or is destroyed, the rest of the swarm can still communicate. The network simply reroutes the data through other drones. It's similar to how the internet works. And this distributed communication system is one of the reasons swarms are so hard to stop. But communication alone isn't enough. To truly function as a swarm, these machines need something even more powerful. Artificial intelligence. Still watching? Okay, let's talk about AI, because number 7 is where things start getting really interesting. AI coordination. Artificial intelligence plays a huge role in modern drone technology. AI systems help drones analyze information from sensors, cameras, and other drones in the swarm. Instead of waiting for instructions from a human pilot, drones can react instantly. They can avoid obstacles, change formation, or identify potential targets. In some experimental systems, a single operator can supervise dozens of drones at once, while AI handles the coordination. This dramatically increases the scale of what drones can do. Imagine controlling 100 flying robots with just a few commands. But if swarms can operate independently, that raises a big question. What happens if some of those drones are destroyed? Surprisingly, the answer might make swarms even more dangerous. Number 6, self-healing swarm. One of the most fascinating features of swarm technology is something called self-healing behavior. In traditional military systems, losing a key piece of equipment can cripple the entire operation. But swarm systems are different. If several drones are lost, the swarm can automatically reorganize itself. The remaining drones simply redistribute the tasks. Formations change, roles shift, and the mission continues. It's similar to how ant colonies function. Remove a few ants, and the colony keeps working. This makes swarm systems extremely resilient. And when you combine resilience with another major advantage, you start to understand why militaries are investing billions in this technology. Let us know in the comments. Would you trust autonomous swarms to make decisions on a battlefield? Because the next entry might explain why governments are so interested in them. Number 5. Why swarms are so effective. One word: numbers. Traditional military aircraft can cost tens or even hundreds of millions of dollars, but many swarm drones are designed to be relatively cheap. That means instead of deploying one expensive aircraft, a military could deploy hundreds of smaller drones. This creates a major strategic advantage. Air defense systems are usually designed to intercept a limited number of incoming targets. But imagine trying to shoot down 200 drones at once. It's like trying to swat a swarm of bees. Some will inevitably get through. This ability to overwhelm defenses is one of the biggest reasons swarm technology is being studied so closely. But swarms aren't just theoretical. They've already been demonstrated in real experiments. And what happened during those tests shocked a lot of experts. Number 4. The first major drone swarm test. One of the most famous demonstrations happened when the U.S. Department of Defense tested a system known as Perdix drones. During the experiment, over 100 small drones were launched simultaneously from fighter jets. Once deployed, the drones formed a coordinated swarm. They communicated with each other, adjusted their formations, and continued operating even when individual drones were removed. Military researchers described the behavior as collective decision-making. In other words, the drones weren't just following pre-programmed instructions. They were responding to each other and adapting in real time. Crazy, right? And that test was just the beginning, because several countries are now racing to develop even larger swarm systems. If you thought that was wild, wait until you see what's coming next. Number 3, the global race for swarm technology. Drone swarms are now being researched around the world. The United States, China, and several European nations are investing heavily in swarm robotics. Some research programs are exploring swarms that could include hundreds of drones operating together. Others are focusing on autonomous reconnaissance swarms that can explore dangerous environments. There are even projects looking at drone swarms that work alongside piloted aircraft. These loyal wingman drones could scout ahead, provide extra sensors, or help protect fighter jets. But with all this new technology comes a serious concern. If swarms become widespread, how do you defend against them? That brings us to number 2, counter-swarm defenses. As drone swarms develop, new defensive technologies are being created to stop them. These are known as counter-swarm systems. Some use electronic warfare to jam drone communications. Others use high-energy lasers to destroy drones midair. There are even experimental microwave weapons designed to disable multiple drones at once by damaging their electronics. And in some cases, drones are used to fight other drones. Interceptor drones can chase down and disable enemy drones before they reach their targets. But even with these defenses, stopping a large swarm remains extremely difficult. Which brings us to the final entry on our list. And this one might define the future of warfare. Coming in at number 1, autonomous swarm warfare. The most disruptive development in drone technology is the possibility of fully autonomous swarms. Instead of humans controlling the drones directly, artificial intelligence could coordinate entire swarms on its own. These systems could analyze battlefield data, identify targets, and adapt strategies in real time. Some researchers believe future swarms could involve thousands of drones operating simultaneously. At that scale, the battlefield could look completely different from anything we've seen before. Instead of individual weapons dominating the fight, Conflicts could involve entire networks of autonomous machines working together. And we may only be at the beginning of this technological shift. Okay, when you think back to number 5 on our list, the power of numbers, you start to see why drone swarms are such a big deal. Hundreds of inexpensive drones working together can challenge systems that were designed to stop only a few targets at a time. Add artificial intelligence, autonomous navigation, and advanced communication networks, and suddenly you're looking at a technology that could reshape modern warfare. But the real question is, what happens when swarms become fully autonomous? Could thousands of machines eventually coordinate without human control? And if that happens, how do you defend against it? Technology isn't just about a new computer or cell phone anymore. It's tech being used for warfare and beyond. So if you found this exploration fascinating, make sure to subscribe to the Best Tech Zone for more deep dives into the technologies shaping our future. And if you're curious about the next big military innovation, you should definitely check out our video on hypersonic missiles, the weapons so fast that many defenses can't stop them. Trust me, if drone swarms surprised you, that technology might shock you even more.